What's up? You've got Rob from Terror at Synth High, and today we're gonna learn to make a damn party drink based on a Japanese horror cult classic. Heck, we're also gonna talk about what I think any of this has in common with the Evil Dead franchise, as well as a little girl getting bit on the ass by a decapitated head. So buckle up, Buttercup. What's up, guys? You've got Rob from Terror at Synth High. I'm here with Steve. He's back again to make some more drinks for us. After very rudely getting me drunk last time, he's insisted on doing it again. Last time he came at us with a drink for Suspiria, which was delicious. Definitely check that video out. And today he's here for another very unusual film. This one may be a little more obscure than Suspiria, but House from 1977, or Hausu. So Steve's going to show us how to make a drink for that. Steve, how you doing, man?
Hey, Rod, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I'm here with my cat, Chimera. She was very adamant about being in the video, but which is fitting because there's one of the main protagonists in the movie is a cat. So, of course, that one was white, but this one's a black cat, just as fitting for a horror movie.
Steve, I'm noticing a trend. Last time you picked Suspiria. This time you picked Hausu. Two foreign films for us who live in the US, made in 1977 with imagery and film work that's unusual. So it seems like you tend towards a lot of the weird lighting and the weird effects in movies, which I do myself. I love all that, the 70s style of all of that. I had to go back and watch Hausu actually last night. I don't own it, but I had to just, get it on demand just to watch it again because it's been a while for me. And I was not disappointed. And now I know why you're making a watermelon drink. I was just like, oh yeah, oh, that's right, the watermelon thing.
The watermelon, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I probably saw this movie for the first time maybe about 10 years ago at an art house theater in New York City. And it was actually a re-releasing of the film. It didn't actually come to the States. It did prior, but then they did a re-releasing, and that's when I first saw it. And I'm like, what is this movie? The poster had a big cat head on it, and I'm like, this looks weird. I got to check this out. So I definitely went in and saw it, and I was completely blown away. It was something I've never seen before in a film, much like my shock when I first saw Suspiria. But this one even took it to a new level. It's fitting that you're wearing the Claws shirt because actually I was reading up on the film, and a bunch of Japanese producers approached the director and was like, hey, we want you to come up with the Japanese version of Jaws. And that's what happened. Hausu came about, and that's House. Has nothing to do with Jaws, doesn't seem to link at all, but that for some reason, that's what the director came up with. And yeah, it's just a trip. It's a wild ride. I absolutely love this film.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It is fantastic in every way. It is just pure fun. It's been a cult classic for a long time. It's in the Criterion collection, which doesn't focus on horror movies either all the time.
Yeah, there's very few horror films in Criterion.
But one of the things I think about this one is that every time I see it, and it's, like I said, it's been a while, but it's always one of those ones where it's like, okay, this is the kind of movie that non-horror fans like. Like if you can get your non-horror fans to watch it, and they just like weird movies, they're gonna like this. Like it's just like showing a non-horror fan things that are a little more traditional, more traditional ones like Evil Dead and things like that. And people who don't like horror love that. I think this fits into that category of things that people like anyway because it's just so batshit crazy, and just and half the movie isn't even horror. It's just weird wonky shit going on and great imagery and stage scenes.
Well, just continuing what you were just saying, that's why I think Evil Dead, especially Evil Dead 2, kind of bridged that new gap in attracting horror fans by having this like horror comedy genre. And I would put this into it too because it's very wacky, it's very funny. It's almost so bizarre and grotesque that it is funny. You got the little fingers cut off playing the piano, and just the girl's head coming out of the well and biting the girl in the ass, and it's just it's just so bizarre. The cat's playing tricks on people. This crazy ant is just flying in and out of the scenes, and it's just so bizarre. The music, the colors, just the characters in general. I think of this movie as like kind of like a Japanese Scooby-Doo, just because the way they name the characters, they don't even give them real names. They just have nicknames like Gorgeous and Mac and Kung Fu and so forth. But yeah, the watermelon plays a big role in it. So I immediately was like, I gotta have a watermelon in this drink for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think yeah, just going back to the girls' names and all. Like I think that's crazy. First of all, I think, in most of these type of movies, like the protagonists in it, or like the people that are in this situation are usually look much older than they're supposed to. In this situation, they look much younger. They look just like like 11-year-old little girls. And I assume they're supposed to be in high school. I don't think they really say it, but yeah, and they all have such stereotypical names. Yeah, it's like this little Asian girl knows Kung Fu. We're gonna call her Kung Fu. It's like bring the civil rights movement back 100 years, right? Just it's pretty crazy. Yeah, Mac is the one that eats a lot.
He's always eating, yeah.
So like after Big Mac, I guess, and pretty I think Professor. She doesn't even. I don't even see her until like the end of the movie, and then it's just like, was that one even around? Like,
oh, I know, yeah.
Oh, we're missing a smart one. Let's so.
But again, to go on the kind of Scooby Gang thing, and but that's just kind of the Japanese humor in general, and I think it was perfect for this movie just because it's so bizarre and it just makes absolute total sense. But I do like that it's kind of modeled after the director's life too. And it's very kind of Argento-ish as well, because Argento had his daughter in a lot of the films, and in this film it's about a director who's who has his daughter as the main focus as well. It's not the director's daughter, but you know what I mean. So it has this kind of dynamic between the filmmaker father and the kind of like actress daughter.
Right. Yeah, I think there's isn't he? He's a composer, right? They made a
composer.
They made a reference at some point to Morricone. At the beginning of the movie, and I was just like, okay, see a little playback there. So so how did you come up with this drink? By the way, I didn't say for people who watched this last time, this is Steve's coming back to make another drink with us. He's a professional mixologist, and why don't you say what your credentials are really quick so people know what you do.
So I'm a certified sommelier, which is kind of a wine professional. The same thing, but for beer, which is called a certified cicerone. And then loosely the same thing for spirits through yet another program called Specialist of Spirits. That's through Society of Wine Educators. So kind of, mix of all the three main beverages. And I'm working on getting a sake certification and a cider certification at some point as well. So just kind of learn about all the main beverages.
Awesome. Just collect them all.
Yeah. My infinity gauntlet, so to speak.
So how'd you come up with this drink?
Well, because of the film, I immediately, like I said, Scooby-Doo came to mind. So there is a classic drink that I've actually never really had, just because it's kind of a wacky drink as well. It's in the line of cream drinks. It's a different category for cocktails called cream drinks, which contain milk. And this one's called a Scooby Snack. So I thought it was perfectly fitting for this film. So I wanted to do a little riff on a Scooby Snack.
Awesome. So let's get into this drink.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I got all my ingredients set up right here. This drink is very easy, very simple to make. It's all equal parts. So every ingredient, there's 4, is all going to be 1 ounces each. So 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, which I have in front of you right here. The ingredients themselves can be a little interchangeable, just as long as you get the base of the ingredient there. So the first ingredient is going to be vodka. And I end up getting this Japanese vodka called Haku. It's distilled from Japanese rice, and it goes through a bamboo charcoal filtration. So I thought that sounded pretty cool. I got that specifically because it's a Japanese movie, so I thought that'd be fitting. But any vodka will do. The next ingredient is going to be Midori. This is pretty important. I wouldn't buy any other melon liqueur just because, personally, I don't think any other ones are that good. This is really the staple. It's in most bars throughout the country and throughout the world. It's pretty much a staple in a bar. Midori is a Japanese melon liqueur, and it's really good. So I definitely would at least get that. Other things you could possibly change up. The next ingredient is going to be sake. This one is actually in the Nagori style. So Nagori just means that the sake didn't go through a filtering process, so it's unfiltered, which means it's going to be very cloudy and very creamy and milky looking in color. So for this one, I got Tozai Snow Maiden. I thought that was pretty fitting for the film, just because the cat, her name's Blanche, all white cat, gorgeous. The main protagonist, the little girl, she's always seen in this all white veil and almost looking very like maiden-like. So I thought that was perfect. But any Nagori style sake will do for this drink, because you're really looking for the milky or creamy texture to the sake. And the last ingredient is going to be watermelon. Fresh watermelon. You don't need much, just 1 ounce. So I'd recommend just buying a small little mini watermelon or some in the store that's already cut up for you. You only need probably even a slice this size would get you 1 ounce, just because watermelon is literally all juice. Put it in a juice press and kind of strain out all the seeds and all the pulp and everything. And yeah, it doesn't take much to get about 1 ounce. So there you have it. That's all for the main ingredients. Gonna go ahead and start making the drink. Get my mixing glass here. Start dumping them all in one by one. Got my shaker tin with ice. We've got a nice good shake there. And you're going to want to serve it in a rocks glass or a double rocks glass with ice. Like to garnish it with a little watermelon slice. And this is, of course, optional. No, it's kind of hard to see, but this is Fee Brothers again. I use it for another drink, but this one is their lemon bitters. Give it a good shake before using it, and you need just probably like about 5 dashes in this. And this is really just kind of like the pinch of salt at the end, or pinch of pepper, really just to give it that extra little kick at the end. But again, it's optional. And there you have it. I call this one House Party.
All right, Steve. So that was informative. I've got my drink. You've got your drink. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
This is my first time tasting this and dripping it on my computer. Taste a lot of watermelon. That's tasty. Yeah, I mean, we were going through, like, you know, for the name of it and everything, for House Party. I think it makes complete sense, House Party or Hausu Party, right? Because it's like the Japanese wacky, like, you want to watch this during a party. Like I was saying before, like, people who don't like horror, this is a good one to put on.
Yeah.
Some of these.
Yeah. This is the movie you put in the background during a Halloween party or something, and just kind of let people talk it out and be like, wait, what's on the screen? What are we watching? This is weird. You know, it's kind of
pretend it's not on.
Yeah, it's a little conversation piece, film art. But yeah, it's such a wacky movie, and I thought House Party is perfect perfect title for this drink, you know?
Yeah, perfect way to
'Cause it
link
is,
to
it's,
non-horror friends, for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
I put the lemon in mine because I didn't have the lemon bitters.
Oh yeah, that works too. I think just a little bit of like lemon adds a nice little citrus kick to it, kind of balance out all the creaminess in the drink from the nigori. But yeah, it's got a nice, very smooth, really mellow, full body taste to it. It's not overly sweet, but it's very flavorful.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with how it came out. I think it's a very interesting tasting drink.
Yeah, man, for sure. I haven't had anything like it. I think it's definitely tasty, like you said. I think it's very melony, and I can taste the sake too, and that cloudiness of it. Mine also might be because the part of that might be because I did my watermelon. I just threw it in the like a NutriBullet, so I didn't like sift anything out. And you said how do you just like pressed it?
Yeah, just the same as you would do with a lemon or lime wedge. You just put it right in the juice press. It'll come through very easily because it's pretty much all water.
Right.
And again, you don't really need a lot of watermelon to get an ounce of juice from it.
Right.
So yeah, it's really, really easy to do. And then I just kind of sift it out. Use like a julep strainer, kind of sift out the seeds and all the pulp. And then you get a nice clear liquid coming out.
Nice. All right, man. Cool. So I was one of the things I didn't say before that I was just thinking about is the first place that I've heard of this movie, and I was trying to think of where it was the other night, and I remember, and this is a really odd place to first see a movie, or I hear of it. And I didn't see. It must have been like 95, 96, something like that. You remember the encyclopedias that were on like the old Windows systems? You remember those? So
yeah.
I had the encyclopedia on there, and I was going through all the different horror movies. Now it's like, yeah, it's all like classics and stuff like that. Like it's all like like the first Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, things that everybody knows. But then I came to this, and it was on there, which was so weird to me. It was even classic back then, and obviously I didn't know about it because I was a little bit younger. I was probably about like 13 then, and I hadn't gotten into this part of horror yet. But yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, huh. That's one of the things they put on, like a basic encyclopedia. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I don't really know much about the background history of the releasing for the American audiences, but really since it came out on Criterion was the only time I actually really heard of it. So I definitely applaud Criterion for releasing this movie, especially because they don't normally release horror movies. I have a couple other Japanese horror movies that they released too, like Current Echo and Quiet Dawn. Which are amazing as well. But I probably never would have seen this movie just because it's so bizarre and such a select audience that would even probably be exposed to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. That is the biggest release that I know of it. And that's one of the reasons I don't have it too, is I never really searched it out. I was looking for other things. I never got like too crazy. I was like, I know that's a crazy movie. And I saw bits and pieces of it over the years, and I forgot where I ended up seeing the full version the first time. But then I saw Criterion put it out, and now after watching it again last night and having you talk about it, I'm just like, all right, now I gotta buy it. All right, sounds fair.
Yeah, no, and for all the people watching, if you've never seen this film, please check it out because it's just so bizarre. There's tons of blood, gore, body parts flying across the screen, just vivid colors, wacky humor. Really interesting music tastes or interesting music choices in the film, and it's just such a fun ride, such a wild ride, and it definitely is. I think House Party is perfect name for this drink because it is like you're invited to this house party where these girls just get slaughtered by the aunt, and all hell breaks loose.
Well said. All right, Steve, thanks for joining us again, and I hope to see you again soon. I know you have I know there's another drink in the works that we were talking about, so hope to meet and do that one soon. I know that one's kind of locally based to where you are in Las Vegas, right?
It is, yeah. It's kind of a local drink that I'll explain in the next video, but yeah, I'm very happy to put a little twist on a local drink.
Great to have you, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care, Rob. Thank you.
And that wraps it up for today. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let us know what you think of this drink as well as any other future drinks that you have recommendations for. I got nothing better to do. Oh wait, I was supposed to feed my cat. Oh, like a month ago. Oh no, 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 no. Just subscribe, okay? Life's too short.